Introduced. The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number one in the name of Claudette Hauiti. Claudette Hauiti.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker.
Kia ora.
This question is to the Minister of Finance. What reports has he received on progress in building a growing economy that can support more jobs and higher incomes for New Zealanders?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, Statistics New Zealand this morning issued GDP figures for March. It confirms the economy is continuing to perform well, growing by 1% in the 3 months to the 31st of March and by 3.8% in the 12 months up to the end of March, which is good news for New Zealanders looking for higher incomes and more jobs. Economic growth was reasonably broad-based, with positive contributions from construction, mining, agriculture, retail trade and accommodation. It's the latest in a run of encouraging economic indicators, including higher levels of business and consumer confidence. I want to pay tribute to the strong and stable leadership of the Prime Minister, who has the unanimous support of a united caucus. This has been instrumental in the government's successful economic policy.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
How is the growing economy translating into real benefits for New Zealanders and their families?
Honourable
Mr.
Bill
Speaker,
English.
Most people don't measure their economic prospects in terms of GDP. They measure it in terms of more jobs and higher incomes. In the past year alone, 84,000 more jobs were created, and the budget last month forecast an additional 170,000 new jobs by mid-2018. And if we stick with the government's program, the average full-time wage is expected to rise by $7,600 to $62,300 over the next 4 years. This follows a $3,000 increase in the average wage over the past 3 years.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Minister, if that answer was so compellingly valid, how come the Māngari section of the National Party rejected it when it was put to them by the questioner when she sought the nomination there?
Insofar as there may be some ministerial responsibility, the Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be going and talking not just to the Māngari branch of the National Party, but to all those former Labour and New Zealand First voters in Māngari who are starting to think about voting National.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
Kia ora. How does New Zealand's latest economy growth compare with growth in other developed economies around the world?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, New Zealand continues to be one of the better performing developed economies. Our 3.8% growth rate was the third highest in the OECD club of developed economies. By comparison, Australia grew about the same, 3.5%, the UK 3.1%, United States 2%, Canada 2%, Japan 2.8%, and the Euro area 0.9%. So New Zealand is doing reasonably well, but we need to continue to work on sustaining these growth rates beyond the normal cycle so that more households can benefit from consistently rising incomes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
To the Minister, how does New Zealand current economic performance compare with indicators this government inherited in late 2008?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the indicators have improved in part because of the improved economic cycle and in part because of good government policy. The balance of payments deficit, for instance, in 2008 was minus 7% of GDP, and it's currently 2.8%. The government is on track to budget surplus next year. In 2008, we faced never-ending deficits and soaring government debt. the cost of living has risen by just 1.5% a year. In 2008, it was rising by more than 5% per year, where the cost of living was out of control. And floating mortgage interest rates are a bit over 6% today, and in 2008 they reached almost 11%.
Question number 2, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Speaker, to the Prime Minister, is he concerned about rising inequality